Oh god, dude, I was doing that the entire time.
Alright, take 2 of this review and put your damn phone away.
You're just gonna mess up again.
And they did, because I had the King Ghidorah footage saving last night so that I could use it in the review to put up for today. And when I got home, they decided to corrupt. And none of them saved. So I have no footage to put inside of this video, so I am so sorry. I don't really want to wait to put this review out till at least Monday or next Friday again, so I'm just going to put it out like we used to do it. So, enjoy.
You know what else is sad?
Huh?
It's middle of April and I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, he just came over.
What is this?
So we can do this. At least it's raining. It's not snowing this time.
What the?
We're improving. It's only taken almost to May.
I was yesterday outside in shorts and everything. You know, I put on shorts today and I walk outside and I was like, oh.
What the hell, Michigan? God.
I had to go put a hoodie on and everything. I was like, I hate this.
Alright, so we're going to try this again. So, listen up, Rangers, welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnes.
And today we're going over Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which came out in 1991.
Man, I saw this movie so long ago, I forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't remember anything that happened in this film.
Because this is our second take.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault the camera's being stupid. But anyways, this should be a little bit quicker since we already know what we're going to talk about. But, really excited to do this movie. Because one, I actually got to meet one of the actors from this film when I went to G-Fest last year.
You can show the poster this time? It won't mess up?
Yeah, sweet.
Sweet.
Alright, so, I got to meet Robert Scottfield, which I got him to sign my King Ghidorah poster. You guys can see it. It should be somewhere down there by the water. But I got him to actually autograph it. I'm super excited. The only thing I was bummed out is the only posters I have for the King Ghidorah one are all reproductions.
Yeah.
The one I have hanging above me is actually a better quality one than the one I actually had him sign. Because my wife failed. I was like, grab the good one. She grabbed the other one, the reproduction. I was like, son of a bitch.
Well, she thought it was the opposite day. It's okay.
Yeah, so I've been meaning to swap them out, but that one just looks better. And I ran out of room, so I'm still trying to work that somewhere. Yeah.
Steve's like, this one's going in my bed.
So I got a little bit of a special place for this film in my heart. But if you guys haven't seen it, essentially it is the first Godzilla film that we get time travel in. Because Japan doesn't know what to do with Godzilla because Godzilla's back. There's nothing really to combat him right now, and he destroyed the Super X too. So what happens is some people come from the future to try to help Japan in order to get rid of Godzilla. But these people from the future have other needs, which we do find out later on in the film.
Or also known as plans.
Yes. I guess you call them plans.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably the right term. Shut up, you. Correct me. God. But what's really cool about this film is you actually get to see Godzilla before he became Godzilla. You get to see him as a Godzillasaurus, which is really cool for this plot.
Which looked weird, by the way.
Yeah, it's a little odd, but we'll just get into the plot, what we liked about it. I actually really love this movie because it's something different than what we get to see with the rest of the Godzilla series, because it's really one of the only ones that, or pretty much the only one that really deals with time travel. The only other time traveling Toho movie that I know of off the top of my head is Rebirth of Mothra 3.
See, while I'm on the opposite side of this, I kind of did not feel this whole time traveling thing.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it bugged me so much, maybe just because like it went back in time and then showed a whole King Ghidorah thing, how it was formed.
Yeah, it's not Ghidorah just didn't come from space. Or
yeah,
Ghidorah, not Ghidorah.
Yeah, it's King Ghidorah, Steve.
No, the original was Ghidorah because they call him in this one. They actually call him Ghidorah in this film. So he's King Ghidorah.
We can't use that reference
Kind of
anymore.
different. Nope, can't use Ghidorah anymore. I'm sorry.
But I like Ghidorah.
I do like it too. It's just one of those ones I got so used to saying it. And it took me forever to get Ghidorah to come out of my mouth.
But yeah, I like the whole like story or the background story of him coming actually from a space. You know,
Yeah.
It was just a little bit more interesting than time traveling 3 monster fuse into the one.
Shh, we don't talk about those things. They never happened.
Those
I don't have
things.
them in my display case over there.
Right there.
Another thing I really like about this is you get a really awesome diverse cast. And pretty much everybody has like a decent reason why they are being in the film. It's not like there's kind of like there's a lot of throwaway characters in this film.
Yeah, they're just not fillers.
Yeah, like I really love M11. I like everybody else, I don't remember their names.
It's okay. You remember the most important one, Steve.
Yep, M11. My favorite.
And we'll tell you later why he's so amazing.
But I just find this plot very refreshing because, again, it's something that's very different for these films. Because you don't get the time travel aspect. It's very futuristic also compared to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because granted, you do get some tech in like Destroy All Monsters and some of those films where you get like them actually like traveling to the moon and they got space stations on and whatnot. But this is like one of the first ones where I really actually got that full blown like stateside sci-fi feel to it.
Yeah.
With everybody having like the laser guns and stuff too, and they have like their helmets that they need to like for jetpacks and stuff.
Well, not just that. This is like the first time where the actual robot, kaiju is actually controlled by people. It's not just AI. Ooh.
Yeah, it's science. It actually makes sort of sense.
Yeah, there's somebody in there piloting it.
Yeah, which is also something that's very different for this film too, because just like you said, the only other robotic monster we have is Mechagodzilla, who was just kind of controlled-ish.
Yeah.
So, I really love the plot. Arnes is a little bit more indecisive about it. But some of the cool things about this is the actual costumes. Or the suits. Which we have Godzilla, which is slightly different than what we got in Godzilla in 1989. He's a little bit more fierce looking in this one.
He's turning into the new one.
Oh, Shin Goji?
Yeah.
Kinda. We're getting there.
He's getting scarier by a minute.
But this Godzilla is really cool. Not my personal favorite out of the Heisei line, because we'll get to that suit in the next few films. But it's still really cool. Looks like Godzilla. Pretty traditional Heisei appearance. King Ghidorah, though. Definitely looks a little bit different than what we got with the Showa series.
A lot different, not little.
Yeah, actually, this is my personal favorite Ghidorah. Which it seems kind of weird because it's pretty basic looking compared to next to like some like you have like Cretaceous Ghidorah or Dessa Ghidorah. But I just really like this one.
There's a couple of issues, if I might bring up. I understand the older Godzilla. I mean, not Godzilla, excuse me. The older King Ghidorah. He had hair on him.
Yeah, that was always weird. I never really liked the hair personally.
I know where it came from. That's when he came from the space. That's why this guy didn't have any hair. Because he was evolved from those hairy monsters over there.
Okay, we'll bring up the Dorats. I've stated before that I think these things are terrifying. I hate them. They're annoying. They're like demented Muppets. Just never really cared for them. And this the whole creation thing is pretty cool though. I'll give it that. Like how they decided to make King Ghidorah using the radiation for them things to combine. Which I don't understand how they figured it out, but they knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah, tell us that.
But they have the hair and stuff on the Dorats though. Which, it would make sense when they combine. Why wouldn't King Ghidorah have the hair like he did in the Showa series?
Well, when you go get chemos and radiation, all your hair falls out. Ha ha! Got you. I thought about that one for a long time.
I got you. You got me on that one. But I really like this King Ghidorah in terms of appearance. And then what ends up happening, stuff happens, becomes Mecha King Ghidorah. Which, I actually love Mecha King Ghidorah a lot more than I do love King Ghidorah in this film now.
Yes, this is where I was like, oh, yes.
It's really cool because he's like half Ghidorah, half cyborg, and it's awesome. And it's piloted by somebody, which is something that's totally different for this series.
They went all in out on this movie. I was so proud of this when I saw this movie. I was like, it's about time, damn it.
Yeah, and King Ghidorah even has cool abilities that it does. It doesn't just have beams coming out of its mouth. It actually has other stuff used to help capture Godzilla, which I think is really neat.
But that was the weird part, though, is when she uses those abilities of his, we're going to call them,
it shoots out grapple cables.
Yeah. It shoots out those things, it goes into that, CGI 3D mode of, the computer screen. That was just weird.
Yeah, it shows you, the targeting computer, and then it actually goes into the cables actually going towards Godzilla.
Yeah.
I always thought that was neat, though.
It's neat, but it was just, weird. It looked weird.
Yeah, it's something different.
In a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
And for the final suit, we get Godzillasaurus, which is Godzilla before he gets affected by radiation.
Which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, because it's essentially just a dinosaur. It's a weird dinosaur. But it has some of Godzilla's facial features in the face.
Yeah.
But he has, tiny little arms.
That was the most adorable thing ever. It was like, hi, guys, how's it
He's
going?
chasing the American soldiers. Oh, he's awesome. Which is also a very controversial scene, and people have a problem with that. Never really bothered me personally. Because when I was a kid, I was just like, monsters, go get them! Show those Americans who's boss! But it's really cool just to see what Godzilla looked like before the whole atomic testing.
Yeah.
So you get to see what he looked like before Godzilla 1954. And I always thought that was really neat, and you only get to see it in this movie. And then finally we'll move on to the special effects, which for this film is probably the part I would say is a little bit hit and miss for some people. None of it really bothers me because I do love me some campy cheesiness. But I can see some people finding the scenes with M11 being a little bit weird.
You shut your dirty mouth.
Well, because there's like some references to like the Bionic Man.
Yet again, you shut your dirty mouth.
Where like they're like in the jungle, and he has to go like run through all the explosion stuff because they're in the middle of World War II on an island, which is where they find Godzilla. He has to go survey the scene, so they have him go down like, oh, he'll be fine, and then he just starts running. He's just like running super fast, but this is just how he moves. And it's amazing.
That was the greatest thing ever.
But then you see him later when he's chasing after things. He's just like everything is just speeding off past him, and it's like it's a little bit of a change of pace, but whatever.
But that's like one of my favorite scenes. Well, second favorite scene. You know what my favorite scene of this movie is? Is when King Ghidorah was choking Godzilla with one of his head. Why was Godzilla foaming out of his mouth?
He had rabies.
Please explain this to me.
Well, whenever a monster gets is getting choked in these films, or like there's like suffocation happening, because you'll see this like happen in some of the other movies as well. Yeah, foam comes out.
He was like, I was like, somebody call 911. What's going on here?
It's okay. He does a nuclear pulse. Everything's fine.
I really did not understand that part at all. It was so confusing.
Yeah, it was always really weird. I thought it was cool though. Like I always thought those scenes were neat when I was younger.
Oh, it was hilarious. Don't get me wrong. It was just like,
it's not hilarious. It's awesome. But there's a lot of really cool props in this movie where you have the spaceships, or sorry, the time machines. They're not really spaceships, but you get
that
the
was
large
a spaceship.
You get the
they
hard
stated it in the movie. It was an alien UFO.
And then they corrected themselves eventually. But you do have the giant like or not the saucer ship, but like the hover light spinning ship.
Whatever
the hell you call that thing. I think you have the one that they actually used to go back in time.
That one looked cool.
That one was pretty cool. Which is one of the only reasons I wanted to get the special edition King Ghidorah that came out, the special colored version, because it came with that accessory. Couldn't push myself to get it though, because I already own the original one, and I have nothing wrong with mine, so I don't really have a reason to try to replace it.
Which one is it?
It's my Gold King Ghidorah.
Let me grab the hammer.
No! But the new one was just more supposed to look like how it did in the poster here. Where the poster's like bright yellowish gold. So it's supposed to help replicate this more. But that one actually came with a lot more accessories. And some of the beams actually I thought would work way better with Mecha King Ghidorah. Because they're like different colored versions.
Well, see, that'd be the cool thing. You buy both of them, and then you're like, oh man, I have both now.
No? I'm cool. I only got so much money, man. I need to start a GoFundMe. Would you guys support a GoFundMe? Probably not.
No. Don't support Steve and his bad habits.
You guys really need to support my bad habits. More reviews. I guess it's sort of tied in the props, but I just really like when they go back in time to World War II when they're on the island where you have the Japanese soldiers and the American soldiers, and you have like the battleship, and the people are just like staying in the battleship, and like, just come. There's a giant dinosaur attacking the boys. It's just the acting's so bad, but it's amazing. And they're just like watching with binoculars, like, what the hell's going on that island? They just bombard them.
It's funny how Steve remembers like the worst parts of the movie.
It's amazing though. I love that part. Oh, then you have the Japanese guys that salute Godzilla because they saved him, and then Godzilla comes back later on to not appreciate that.
Oh, that was the most hilarious thing is the guy's just standing, Godzilla's just standing, they're looking at each other's eyes, and the next scene, guy's dead.
Yeah, so you're looking at him, he's like, do you remember me? I love you.
I was like, wah, wah, wah. He won't be in the next Godzilla movie.
No, he won't. Godzilla's a dick in my series. I will admit that. So overall, for Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, I personally really like this movie. I like the different plot that we get with this compared to all the other Godzilla movies. That's my favorite King Ghidorah. The fight scenes are something we didn't really talk about, but they're actually pretty cool in this one overall.
We don't talk about them because there wasn't that many fight scenes.
There was it. It does take a lot of build up for it, but then you also get like Godzilla trouncing the soldier, so
Yeah.
you do also get. There's a lot of action that happens in these.
There's
movies.
action. Don't get us wrong. There's just no monster versus monster fight.
Yeah,
scenes.
which is actually really cool too, because you actually get to see a lot more like human on human action than like human fighting monster action.
Steve, you're so horrible. She was like, "Oh man, I'm so excited to get to see some human on human action." Yeah, you hugged that thing.
I will. Oh wait, what'd you think of it?
Oh, the movie was amazing. I just felt kind of weird about the whole aspect of the time traveling thing, but besides that, everything else, like the humans, monsters, the human to human interaction was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But like with all of its little downfalls in this movie, the movie was still a lot better than the last few I've seen. I can say that easily.
Did you like it better than Biollante?
That's so tough though. Like they're both right there on the par, you know.
No, not on
at
my
least.
list.
For me at least, it's like Biollante was cool monster design, but this one just had like way much more action. You know, it wasn't just Biollante sitting in the water for like 30 minutes waiting to power up to 9,000. You know, while this
I'll
one
give you
was
that. This one definitely has more of like an 80s action movie vibe.
because it had everything. It had time traveling, had monster fight, had human versus monsters, had human interaction where humans were like more than just one race was a bad guy. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we were actually the bad guys. Sort of. It's weird. But have you guys seen Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah? Please let us know in the comments section below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today, and see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.